You're ready to go, Jeffrey. Go for it.
You bet. Okay, we're live.
You are live.
And good day. Hey, good afternoon. I hope that everybody's having a wonderful time. My apologies. We're getting started a little bit late today. I had some technical difficulties on one of my laptops. It wasn't giving us a picture. And so pulled out another laptop. And again, kudos to Mr. Mufareh, because I am now live on the laptop that he provided about a year and a half ago. I pull it out and I use it quite often, and I love it, by the way. So thank you again, Mr. Mufareh, for that laptop. It's a beautiful piece of work and technology. And I guess I'll start by saying hello. It is a great, glorious afternoon. It's blue skies, wonderful sunshine, beautiful temperature after downpours over the last couple of days here in North Carolina. But on Monday, we had the Roundtable with Mr. Mufareh. I was going to do this live yesterday, but I got looking with the live that was done by Red, and I thought, let me let him get out of the way, and let me get him to do his thing and not try to preempt what he's doing. And my puppy is all wrapped up in my cord here. Sorry about that. And so today I'm doing the live for that, and I'm just going to be doing some updates or my take on the updates, the great things that Mr. Mufareh and the team were talking about on Monday. Now he came on, Mr. Mufareh came on, said, he wasn't too interested in having the exact number of founders, but he's got the date that the founder position is going to go. Well, the founder position is not going to go away. The door to the founder position is going to be permanently closed. He does want to see whether or not some of the leaders would rather have a notice of that pending close, or if we just want to wake up one day to find that the registration is gone. My personal opinion would be either way, but I think it'd be real nice if we had a 48-hour notice, as long as we stuck to it. But anyway, he does want to give folks the opportunity to get in if they've been seriously considering it, and we can certainly understand that. And he also wants to make sure that we have respect for the efforts for the founders that have been diligently working toward getting some of these people in, and they might be right on the verge. So I'm thinking if we could offer them something pretty concrete, saying, you got a couple of days and that's it, it's going away, I think that would be a good idea. But, additionally, Mr. Mufareh, and he's told us this before, that he's had a lot of people that reach out to him, and these aren't run-of-the-mill everyday marketers or marketing wannabes. These are people of influence. These are people that have been around, know the system, know the technology, and that sort of thing. But he's had them coming to him saying, hey, I'd like to get in, I'd like to join. But as he has told us before, he doesn't have a link, he doesn't have a team, he doesn't have a way to do that. He could if he wanted to, but he's taking the moral high road here, which is certainly understandable. And he's saying to these people, go back to whoever it was that you heard about the opportunity from, because it wasn't me, and join with those teams, because that's the way that we're doing things. So these people and more, they're going to be coming in. They may not come in as founders, and if not, they will certainly be in as members, and that is absolutely fine with us. Mr. Mufareh went on to say that any rational person is going to come and try what ONPASSIVE has, simply because, quite frankly, we've got the newest, freshest, best technology out there. The tech products that we have, right, they don't even have limits on them. There is no predetermined threshold that's going to hinder our development. So there's no intention of ONPASSIVE ever stopping that development and the developing of all the products and stuff. So even though they don't come in as a founder, they'll come in as a member. Either way, they're going to be in the team, because we've got what they need now, and we've got what they're going to need in the future. And that's simply because there's a cost, there's a value, and there's support for everything that we're doing is so much bigger, better, grander, smarter, sweeter, faster, redder, better than anything else out there, that they're going to be coming to us. And like we said before, we don't have thresholds. So we're going to be developing for the next long time. And that means that people have every reason in the world to come after us and come to us. And when you put all that in front of the idea, there is no obligation. It's a risk-free obligation. They're coming. So hang on to your hat. What Mr. Mufareh has started here is absolutely astounding, because it's a journey that's just going to continue for generations. And moving into the future, right, we're going to have even better technologies to look forward to. And the next generation of techs and visionaries are what's going to be driving ONPASSIVE, and that is going to be absolutely awesome. You're going to start seeing technologies and products that you have never in the history of the world seen before. I think I've said it before that the next 100 years, you're going to see more of this kind of quantum technology development and renewable, sustainable energies, technologies, and just, medical technologies that go inward toward biology, as opposed to coming out with technology that takes the form of things. So we're in a good time to be alive. Anyway, right now, all points, everything that we're doing, it's phenomenal. Go back and look at some of these videos that have come out where we talk about the Burj, the Khalifa, the branding, the products, the Inno labs, the data centers, all of the events that are happening. Everything is culminating. Everything is coming together and moving forward. So we're at a precipice right now that we're going to soon jump over and into, and you're going to see things expanding at an incredible rate. And we had talked a little bit about the founder position is going to be closing down, because moving forward, there's just not going to be a need for marketing that position anymore. And we certainly got enough. We do not need any more. As a matter of fact, that door is about to close on that position. And we're talking days, possibly weeks, but certainly not months. Once that happens, we're going to be able to focus on the products. We're going to take them into perfection. We're going to pick up the pace for it, and we're going to expedite what Mr. Mufareh calls the wrap up, which brings all this together in a culmination of product and event and pushing it forward toward everything that we have been developing and pushing us toward the IPO, which is the initial product offering. Now, he also talked about a tool. This is interesting. This is very interesting, because we've talked about folks out there that are probably abusing our name and making things up that aren't really true. Well, he talks Monday on ONPASSIVE about a tool that has been developed. It's a digital AI-driven tool, and it's possible that it's going to go into the product launch and become an actual product that he's going to be able to share with others. But for right now, that tool is one that we're using for the legal folks, the legal department. And it's a neat little piece of AI-driven software that senses, it studies, it analyzes snippets of videos to determine the percentage of hate speech and other things within those that are contained within those, right? All this stuff is documented, it's collected. And this tool, along with these informational snippets and stuff, are going to be handed over to some of the social media sites, the YouTubers and the LinkedIns and people like that host these folks that are coming on and saying bad things about ONPASSIVE and other people. So this will be a great tool for them. It'll be an incredible tool that once they have this and have this information, let me tell you, those offenders, they are going to be in quite frankly, what we said on the webinar, Mr. Mufareh said was deep caca, or if you prefer the Spanish, it is caca profunda. Anyway, Ash created this as yet another way that we are the correction to the corruption, if you will, and as a way to stop those that are intentionally soiling our very good name. And it's not just ONPASSIVE that'll be able to use these things. It's going to be social media sites out there at large. So that's going to be wonderful. And again, concerning the founder position, we know the growth has been fantastic. We're at 1.35 or something like that, 1.3 million founder accounts. But the company needs to go beyond that right now. We need to get past the founder position. it's actually time for harvesting the benefits of the amount of time that we've been in the founder position and the people that have taken advantage of that. We've been there for a while. A lot of us that have come in willingly, eagerly, with the right mindset, right? We're certainly going to see rewards from where we've been, what we've done, and where we're going. But again, that door is closing. And once that's done, we're going to start calling for or preparing for what Mr. Mufareh called the IPO, the initial public or product offering, a public offering of products, perhaps. Anyway, to accommodate that in the way that we're going to be hiring, and we are hiring more staff. They are coming from various tech giants throughout the world. I mean, he said previously that I think it was top 100 countries in the world, at least 50%, if not more of them, we've got techs, engineers, and highly skilled people that work for us that used to work for them. So we have the best of the best, and that's what we intend to keep doing. So well, it's going to continue to develop just like that. And we are continuing to pull top talent into ONPASSIVE as we continue to develop top products and top technology way into the future. So let me say this as an aside kind of a thing. We have hired some of these people, and some of their names and pictures were put out on social media. We are asking that you would not, blow these people up or try to get a hold of them or contact them. I mean, respect them and their privacy. Don't plaster them all over the place. That wouldn't be a good thing to do. Also, in preparation for this stuff that we are doing, along with the new staff and the new techs, and that we're opening more locations in more countries, and looking forward to opening up offices, big offices, headquarters and stuff. This is going to accelerate how and what we open or present to the public market as well, how we do the marketing, right? What products are going to be offered and when, that sort of thing. And in our own founder preparation for this, we all need to make sure that we can log into our accounts, go in and make sure that your emails are there, you don't get any weird errors, make sure that you can log in successfully. And then when you log out, please go up in the right-hand side, click that, let the drop down, hit log off. Don't just shut it down cold, let the system do the work for you. Also, make sure that your personal information in there is all contained and complete. Make sure, check your names, your phone numbers for accuracy. Make sure that your country is listed in there. Make sure it's correct. Check the NDA for your signatures. If you've got an X, or if you've got a dot, or if you've got something strange that's not a valid signature, it's going to get flagged, and it's going to cause you some problems, because once the co-founder's position goes away, that's going to be a critical piece, a sensitive piece of information, and it's going to get flagged, and they're going to say, this is not acceptable, re-sign it. So just go ahead, nip that in the bud, head it off at the pass, if you will, and make sure that that NDA has a good signature. It's got to be an acceptable signature. And as we move forward, these things, like we say, is going to be more sensitive, and they are already and will be very, very important. So make sure you can log into all your accounts and view all the profile information and make sure that's correct. Logging into a founder's is going to be a bit more restrictive, once we move into ONPASSIVE, once we go into the ONPASSIVE database, right? After the founder door is closed. So let your network know about these things, right? It's critical, and these things, they really need to be taken seriously right now and taken care of right now. Also, concerning the Burj Khalifa, our deepest, sympathies and respect go out to the UAE, obviously, for the passing of President Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He died the other week. He was 73 years old. He was the second UAE president, and he started serving in 2004. You may realize, I hope that you do if you're a founder by now. If you're missing this, then you're out of touch. But ONPASSIVE is located in the building in Dubai that was named for him, the Burj Khalifa. and Burj is, I believe, an Arabic term for tower, so it's the Khalifa Tower. But we are in that building on the 134th floor and the 152nd floor. That's where our office is. But there's been a 40-day mourning period that has started. So out of respect, we're halting the branding events at the Burj Khalifa for a time. And that will also give us time to focus on other areas and more events. Some of these events are going to be live events, and there will be some founders, I'm sure, that Mr. Mufareh will invite to participate and watch these events. And as you should know, we're also expecting a big one in June, and that should really shake up the internet, right? But anyway, after an appropriate period of time, we're going to continue the marketing campaigns there in Dubai. That's going to serve to compound the marketing and branding that we've been doing as well. It's just going to get bigger and wider from there. That is a central point. That is where a lot of influential people come and play, and you can get almost anywhere you want in a short period of time from Dubai. So we'll expand out to the world from there. The India folks are going to be having events this month. It's going to happen sometime after this coming Monday to give Ash time to get back to Florida. I think he's still in Virginia right now, or maybe he's on the way home. Obviously, these and other milestones are going to have to be synced with what's best for the company, which in turn means what's best for us. So we know the data centers have been a pretty hot topic here lately, right? And the details, Mr. Mufareh was saying, the details for the data centers, they're really not going to be shared outside of ONPASSIVE, and they're not really going to be shared with average founders either. It's just not necessary. Keep in mind, now it's a rare company, right, that develops so many products the way that we have with such quality from a compassionate intent or standpoint, right, from the heart, as Mr. Mufareh would say. And as much as we want to share a lot, or if not all, the cool things with the founders, sadly, not all of us can be trusted with specifics like that. And even more to the point, it's not just founders. There are many people in the company that do not need to have this information, because it just opens us up for people to do funny things if the information's out there. So don't take it personally, right? But getting back, I mean, think about it. You know as well as I do, we've got 1.3 million founders. Some of us are trustworthy and some of us aren't. Some of us are looking out for themselves. Some of us are looking out for the company. And we know that we have founders in ONPASSIVE by title only, right, that will abuse us if they have the opportunity for whatever reason. We would certainly hope that the majority of them are acting honorably, but we're not naive about it either, right? I mean, Mr. Mufareh talked about what he calls the 80-20 rule. And this is a rule in business that says about 20% of the people provide 80% of the work or 80% of the value. And that has certainly been true in my many, many years of managerial experience. There is always the top tier that provide most of the impetus for anything that's being done. And this 20-80 rule applies to most businesses. Obviously, ONPASSIVE is no exception to that, which means some founders are doing more. They're working harder or providing value at a higher level than some others. That's just what, you've got that. You've got, the mean, and you've got the performances, and in the center, you've got people, and toward the outskirts, you've got people that are doing other things. So, I mean, it's right across the board, but there's always going to be a peak. There's always going to be a small percentage of people doing a lot more than those who are perhaps closer to the edge of everything that's going on. So I say that to say that as a result of all that, even though it's more than fair to say, that we will and we do treat everybody with respect, we don't treat everyone the same. We treat people according to or based on their value to the company. And that's the way life is. You got people that are more valuable to you, you treat them a little differently, right? And now, having said that, the system that we're using, what I'm saying is that there's going to be perks and benefits that some may get that others won't. But as a rule, the system is the same. In other words, for instance, if you take the comp plan is it's math, right? I mean, it pays everybody the same according to the math. It's objective, it's unemotional, it treats everybody the same. The same thing with the products. Doesn't matter what kind of a founder you are or where you're at. If Jeffrey is using the Academy product, then it's the same Academy product that you or any other founder or member will be using. But outside of that, what I'm saying is there are perks that will be available, offered to over and above those things that are provided to other people, right? And these perks are at the discretion of the company to those that provide a higher value to the company. Hey, that's just the way life is, and I get it, right? And what we're talking, for instance, look at the vehicles, look at the laptops, look at the iPhones, the technology, right? The products that are being awarded to these high performers, right? These high value performers. We see it. I think Mr. Mufareh said they've got 3 more cars they're going to be giving away. In a less tangible, yet certainly equally valuable sense, think of the founders that are able to post in the leadership. Well, I don't know if it's the updates tab, or those that are able to post in webinars. It's because they're tried, true, tested. They understand. They know what good posts are and what not to put back there. So they have that ability. Same thing with, here's a big one. People that get invited to events, to view events with Mr. Mufareh. Wow, that's huge, right? I mean, that is a perk. It's a benefit for high value, highly trusted founders and people, you know, in excuse me, inside of ONPASSIVE. And those are benefits that not everybody gets. So, you know, along with those benefits that are already being seen, like some of the ones that I just mentioned, I've also got a very sneaky suspicion that there's going to be more and more of those types of perks, especially once we close the door to the old founders, well, the founders position, the old founders site and backroom. You know, we're not going to be taking any more founders on, right? I think there's going to be a lot more perks offered to that top 20%, so to speak. So there's room for everybody in here to grow. Last week we did or earlier this week, I can't remember, we did a small live on leadership and what kind of leadership we're looking for and how you go about it and the things you can do. There's lots of room for that. So, you know, I mean, 20% is a lot of people. You know, if you get 20% doing most of the work, 20% of 1.3 million is about 350,000 people. I mean, that's a lot of people. So, I mean, come on, get busy, get active, start being the leader you've always wanted to be, right? The other 80%, hey, ONPASSIVE is still a done deal. It can make our success almost effortless. You don't have to worry about it. If you're wanting to just kind of sit back and monitor how things are going and wait for things to, you're absolutely fine. You're going to be fine. It will work for you. You will be successful. So the bottom line there is that you just got to want it. And you got to do what's right for the company while we're waiting for all this stuff to move into something that's got a tangible effect on our lives and raises our abundance. So, and having said that, there's a lot of bottom lines in life, right? And one of them is, and Mr. Mufareh said this as well, that if you can't make it with ONPASSIVE, with all the things that ONPASSIVE has done for us and the success that we can glean from them, I mean, I've said 100 times, if I said it once, our success is going to be based more on what ONPASSIVE does, probably 95% of what ONPASSIVE is doing than what we're doing. So we just need to know that, you know, the bottom line is if you can't make it with ONPASSIVE, you should probably look at possibly changing parts of your personality or changing you, because there's something wrong. I mean, if you can't make it with us, your chances are you aren't going to be able to make it with anybody else to any real degree of success. So our done for you system is a system that can sign, you know, your check every month, and it can provide for you a not only personal but professional growth. If you just follow, jump in line, get in line with what we're doing. I mean, no other company on the planet is giving you what OnPassive is giving you. So please get this, understand it, assimilate it, if you will. But anyway, I'll let that go for now. I do want to leave you with this one fun thing to think about. We know that Mr. Mufareh really isn't motivated by money. We've gone through this before. We know that. Same thing for his family. You know, but he did ask the question the other day. He said, what's better than being a millionaire? And then he kind of answered his own question. He said, and that's making many, many, many millionaires and making many wealthy families. Or even, you know, if you take it a step further, helping to make people more effective, right? Make them happier, make them more appreciative, make them better people, you know, make them better than they were before OnPassive. You know, we lift everybody up into that higher consciousness and higher heart gratitude attitude with, you know, compassionate action and stuff like that. So if that's something you can get behind, then you're all about OnPassive. I know Mr. Mufareh has said that's something he can certainly get behind, and that jazzes him up. And he left us with a term called ONPASSIVE. Now, I wouldn't get too much into the technical part of that. You know, it's air is a suffix, and you put it on to create a noun. Just have fun with it. ONPASSIVE. I think of ONPASSIVE like I do millionaire, billionaire, ONPASSIVE, right? Yeah, that's where we're going, and this is kind of fun to play with, kind of like he brought Catmo out. Have a lot of fun with it. What do you think of that? You know, what images does it conjure up in your imagination? ONPASSIVE. I mean, we've already got Millionaires Club, right? Yeah, where's this going? What's this doing, right? Oh, all right. Don't forget, 12 o'clock, right? In 20 minutes, we've got the OnPassive 360 team coming up. And as that name would imply, 360 means the intent is to get a very well-rounded view of all things OnPassive. So make sure that you log on and support that team. They got some great information. Additionally, you've got to go back. Now, Red did an update yesterday, Mr. Mufareh's update on the Roundtable. And the guy's got some talent, man. He's got game when it comes to these updates and his being able to talk about them on a particular webinar or site. You know, he's got that gift. It was an excellent recap. Good information. Go back, please. Jump back onto his site. Check it out. Same thing with when you go to my site and you click on the description boxes, there's a lot of active people down there. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. I tried to think of everybody that I know that are doing lives and stuff like that and got their addresses down there. But please click on their sites too, like their sites, subscribe to them, you know, ring that bell so that if we have updates or anything like that that come out, you'll be the first to get them. And we would certainly appreciate that as we start doing more posts like this. We do have leadership trying to get together into a ball and all do the same message. That is something Mr. Mufareh has been wanting for a while. I really hope that you will help us do that, do your part, step into a leadership role, get hold of leadership people. Talk to them, ask them about where you want to go, what you want to do. It might be a good fit, it might not be a good fit, we don't know, but you'll never know unless you try. So other than that, I'm just saying, hey, whatever you do, have a great OnPassive day. The ingredients are already here for that to happen for you. And I will look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. And whatever you do, just know that we have for you the best intent and want nothing but blessing and blessing for you and your entire family. So have a great day, and we will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.